Hey, what's going on, everybody? Who be 186 back again with another video. This is my review of the Sony E3 2018 conference. Now, unlike the Microsoft conference, I wasn't able to watch this at home. I had to go somewhere, so I decided to park in the car and pretty much listen to the event through my car speakers. And overall, I thought it was a good conference. I don't think it was better than Microsoft's, but I'll explain that a little later. But I thought it was a good conference overall, even with some jankiness at the beginning, and I'll explain that too. But anyway, first off, let's talk about the beginning of the conference. They were set up in this, as you call it, this tent, and it was actually, when you look at it, it was actually set to mirror the the to mirror what they were going to show. The first thing that they were going to show, which was The Last of Us. They showed Ellie, and she was talking to this guy, and then she got brought into the dance floor with this girl. And again, I don't know a lot about The Last of Us. I've never played it. I'm interested in the multiplayer, but I've never really played the single player. It's not my type of game. But in the DLC for one of the for I think the DLC for the original Last of Us, um, I mean, it was pretty much indicated that even though she was a kid, she seemed to be attracted to girls. So it's pretty clear that she's. I mean, from the trailer, it seems like she's pretty much a lesbian now. Since she's older, she's a lesbian now, and that kiss that they showed was a bit was a bit jarring. I ain't gonna lie to you. I thought for a second there, I thought they were gonna give us a lesbian simulator. But regardless of that, it really shows you. Ironically enough, with the kiss, it kind of shows you how far Naughty Dog is going with this. And I don't think I don't think it really shouldn't be controversial, even though I know there's some controversy surrounding it, but it really shows you how far we've come as a gaming medium, where something like that can be shown. You know what I mean? Like this how gaming, especially games of that caliber, can evolve essentially into something that you would see more so see that on network television, or or in the movies and stuff like that. So they did the kiss thing, and then they kind of transformed into pretty much into gameplay in another scene where she's kind of like stabbing a guy, and she showed off the graphics. The game looks amazing. The game looks amazing, and it's definitely going to set high marks in graphics. They showed off some more gameplay of it. She's hiding in the grass. The combat, everything seems very dynamic, seems very robust. You know what I mean? And I think that's a great evolution of what the original game was. So you're going around and doing this and that. The game looks cool. Like, I really wish that I could be more into it, but it's just not my type of game. If I get a chance, I want to at least try out The Last of Us, to try it out, see if I can get excited for the sequel. But what they showed was really cool. Then this is where the kind of like the jankiness of the conference started. After the demonstration, apparently they were moving everyone to another building. Now, and then what they did, they cut away to to a desk where you had Ryan Clements, Sid Schumann, and I think what's this dude's name? Sean Layden. They had they were doing some talking or whatever. Now this is the part of the conference where I thought this was kind of weird, because I thought, me personally, in my mind, I thought that remember, they said before the conference that they were going to highlight 4 main games. So what I thought they were going to do was they were going to talk about the first game, which was The Last of Us, and then have all the people in the building move to another section where it kind of like puts them in the setting of another game. And while everyone's moving, they'll go back to the desk, and they'll talk about the game, maybe have some little announcements and stuff like that. Cause they announced during that little like 10-15 minute period, they announced new game plus for God of War, and they also added they also, they showed off some gameplay of Call of Duty, COD 4. I mean COD Black Ops 4. They said that the four they highlighted four maps that were going to be available. The remix maps for 4, and then they announced that Black Ops 3 was going to be available for free on PlayStation Plus. Now, to me, to my knowledge, I don't ever remember a Call of Duty game being available on PS Plus or games with gold for free. So I guess that's a big deal. I already have the game and I don't play it, so it is what it is. So they did that. They showed DLC for Destiny, which I didn't give a shit about. And then it was just kind of jankiness, because I guess what happened was, obviously it took time to transfer people to to one building to another. So like for me, like I thought that was gonna be the whole show, and I'm like, yo, I'm not feeling this shit, man, like at all. I'm not feeling this shit. You know what I mean? But what happened was, they had to get everyone ready to go to get into the building, and then they showed off Ghost of Tsushima, right? And this is where the conference I thought really picked up, in my opinion. They showed Ghost of Tsushima. They showed about 10-15 minutes worth of gameplay. The game, that's my most anticipated game, at least on the Sony side for me for E3. I'm a big fan of Sucker Punch, and I think this game's looking fire, man. This game looks hot, man. I love I know some people complain about the combat or the movement, saying it was a bit on the slow side. Me personally, I like more of a slower pace type samurai type game. You know what I mean? It definitely does remind me of Bushido Blade, and I loved that game growing up. So I do like the tense moments. Of like kind of like in the westerns where you're like you do like a quick draw. You're kind of like they highlighted this twice when it came to the main guy fighting the first set of enemy that he does, and then also fighting the lady with the arrows, where that first time the first strike, I mean, and how they're reacting to the first strike. And so I really love that. The game looks amazing. I love the atmosphere. I love everything about that game. So hopefully that game is great, man. Like that was pretty awesome. And then some of the other stuff, I'm not gonna go in order because I can't remember all of it. They showed a Resident Evil 2 remake. If everyone remember, they on the GameCube a long time ago, I think they remade the original Resident Evil, and this one looks great, but that's a multi-plat. Then Remedy showed off their game called Control, and when I first saw it, and one of the only downside to me watching the conference the way I watched it was that I wasn't able to go on Twitter as well without having to interrupt it, because on the Microsoft side I was on Twitter on my phone, and I was watching the conference via on my PC, and I didn't have that set up, so I couldn't really tweet. But I was gonna tweet. I would have tweeted that, yo, this game looks a lot like Quantum Break, and then they showed the then they showed the name at the end, and it's Remedy's game. So it definitely Control. It looks like Quantum Break. It definitely had the same concept of time and shit like that. And look, listen, I'm not gonna play. The only reason why I didn't really get into Quantum Break was because of the episode stuff. I don't think I'm gonna be into this game, but let me say this, and I'm gonna be frank and I'm gonna be honest about this. To me, even though it looks better or whatever, I personally don't like the idea of pretty much taking Quantum Break and just doing this with it. Now again, it could be better. You never know. It could be better. But with that said, like, you just took Quantum Break, you put a female on it, and that was it. And to me, personally, I think that's kind of lazy, in my opinion. I think it's a bit lazy, in my opinion. What else did they show? Okay, now the next game that I can remember them showing was Death Stranding, and they showed about like 9-10 minutes of it. You know, it comes off like an exploration game. You know what I mean? They showed a lot of the terrain and stuff like that. It looked good. It looked gorgeous, but you know, they showed him doing a bunch of stuff, walking and stuff like that, and to pretty much to sum up the showcase for Death Stranding, you had you had an invisible enemy with giant paws. You have baby mooning everybody. You had a beautiful looking blonde chick, just out in the open, and you have another blonde chick eating worms. Right? So I mean, like I said, they showed 10 minutes of it, and I still have no fucking clue what the hell's going on. I have no clue. I have no clue what's going on. But like I said, that's a Kojima game. That's pretty much what it is. Overall, like I didn't really. I mean, I didn't really care for the. I didn't really care for the presentation because they didn't really show anything outside of the stuff, what they showed. But at the end of the day, listen, whether you like the man or not, he don't make bad games. In my opinion, I don't think he makes bad games. So we'll see what happens there. And for the second year in a row, they ended the show with Spider-Man, and they showed pretty much highlighted all the villains that are going to be in the game, including a one that we didn't see. So the gameplay looks great, man. Like I said, man, like this was the one that I was least looking forward to seeing because we've seen enough. I've seen enough of Spider-Man. I'm just waiting for it to come out, and I'm gonna buy it day one. So, but they really hooked us with the story. I'm interested, and like again, I'm not a huge comic guy. I don't know what the fuck's going on. I do know about some of his villains through the movies, like Rhino, and who else did I know? I think Shock. I think they call him Shocker or something like that. I don't know. But they also showcase Scorpion. I think. Yeah, like I said, I'm not like my interest in Spider-Man is purely for the gameplay. The gameplay looks sick. I was looking at some E3 demos on YouTube. The game looks amazing. The game plays amazing. I'm excited for that game. So you have that. And that was pretty much it. Like they ended the show with that. So overall, in my opinion, I thought the show was really good. You know what I mean? Like I said, the first like 15-20 minutes was very odd, and I was hoping that they weren't going to do what I thought they were gonna do with the moving people in place. If I was there, I would be like, yo man, I ain't fucking trying to move to all these fucking buildings. You know what I mean? If I was there. But like I said, once they settled into that building, it pretty much turned into a regular conference. And the gameplay demos that they showed. Oh yeah, they also announced Neo 2. For those of you who are interested, they announced that. They showed off Kingdom Hearts on the stage, which was already on the Xbox stage. So, in my opinion, they want this game to sell like Grand Theft Auto, man. Like, they're showing it on all these fucking stages, man. They want this game to sell. So, but, overall, I thought the conference overall was a good conference. Now, the only reason why I'm going to say that the Xbox conference was better was because I never wanted to change or like leave the conference for any moment during their conference. You know what I mean? Like everything they showed was streamlined, straight to the point, and stuff like that. Right? Plus, obviously Microsoft had more to prove when the acquisitions were important to them. And I'm not here to say that buying studios is more important than showing off gameplay. I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is that they needed to prove to their audience that they were still committed to first party games, right? And that's what they did. And Sony, like I said, they played their hand. They said that they were gonna show. All that needed to happen was for the game to deliver, and they did that. And that's why ultimately I'm giving the show a B. I gave the Xbox conference a B plus. I'm giving the PlayStation conference a B. At the end of the day, they said, yo, we're going to show you these 4 games, and we're going to show you gameplay of all 4 games. And to me, all 4 games delivered. And I don't know about Death Stranding because like I said, I don't know what the fuck's going on with that game. But at the end of the day, they showed you what they showed you what you wanted to see. You wanted to see gameplay of their top games, and that's what they did. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm giving them the score that they gave them. And plus, when it comes to saying that Microsoft had the better conference, they actually showed more games that I'm interested in. You know what I mean? Like Session, I'm interested in Forza Horizon 4 and Gears of War 5. And with the PlayStation conference, it was really just Ghost of Tsushima and Spider-Man. So that's why I give Microsoft the higher grade. But that doesn't mean that both shows didn't do good. Like both shows were I thought had very good showings. I see people online saying, "Oh, Sony did this, Sony E3 was horrible." Listen, a lot of these dudes, they're lying. They're lying. So so I mean it is what it is, man. Anyways, that's pretty much it for it, man. I'm not gonna do a Nintendo review because I did watch some of it and it was boring. So I'm not gonna waste my time talking about it. So that's it. Hoopy 186. I'm out. Peace.